So let's take you through the starting grid for the 2023 Rotax Max Challenge Grand Festival Mini-Max Final. Starting from pole position, it will be Nikita Lyubimov, who alongside him is now the outgoing Micromax Grand Festival winner from last year, Albert Friend. Denny Babacek and Felipe Reyes will line up on row 2. Thomas Verheyen and Bran van der Weyken line up on row 3. Vince van der Hallen and Jakob Kubera, row 4. Alexander van Meeuwen and Kai Clark, row 5. Luca Holmes-Balak and Lars Lambers, row 6. Row 7, Michael Zayak and Erin Underlogan from Turkey. Then we will have on row 8, Boris Verhagen and Alex Goodson. Row 9, João Maria Pereira from Portugal and Tom the Farmer Reed in 18th position. Finn Albert Jorgensen and Daniel Minto round out the top 20. The 35-strong grid, I've been duly informed earlier on, will be as follows. Christoph Killer, Maxim Becker, Christian Sejersen, Victor Reutz, Erik Brandsborg, Albi Lapper, Hasnain Khan, Lika van Berkel, Rasmus Koskinen, Luan Seidel, Nathan Rybczynski, Samir Paul, Mason Yering, Azmi Heiser and Boris Maligranda rounding out the grid. And now we see the sunshine come back. Oh, how we've missed you. So, Karel Pakai going go, 196, Bran van der Weyken. Okay, there is some support coming through on the chat. There's nearly 600 of you watching on our live stream via the official B&L Karting Series YouTube channel. A big thank you to everyone that has watched over the course of yesterday through the 21 heats and through our 9 super heats and now our second of 6 finals. Last year's Mini-Max Grand Festival winner, Jacob Ashcroft, is taking part in the junior partition of the Golden Trophy. As 35 drivers make their way out of the 12th and final corner. Revs rise, noise increases, lights are on, lights are out. We are underway, and a good start by the inside row, which includes Nikita Lyubimov on pole position. Oh, we've already had 2 go off at turn 2. Albert Friend is not one of them, one of which is the 196 of Bran van der Weyken is off and stuck in the mud. Somebody else is alongside as well. Might be, well, it was a 1-1. And I couldn't make out. Oh, there's more drama at turn 6. And there's gesticulation. 136, 1565 involved. So 136, Tom Reed. Finn Albert Jorgensen, 165. There was a GKS kart involved. Possibly João Maria Pereira in the 128 from Portugal. And someone's found the steeplechase puddle outside of turn 8. Must have been a Hunter Motorsport kart. And Daniel Tasker saying here for Albi Lapper. Mechanic by. Oh dear, more spins around, and that was, I think that was Pereira on that particular occasion. Got turned around, and then has had the likes of Boris Verhagen. The Apple cart has really well been upset in this Mini-Max final, isn't it? But leading the way, it is Albert Friend out in front. 9/10 ahead of Lars Lambers, who's got Kai Clark closing it. Well, that's Thomas Verheyen. Then you've got, Kai Clark is in trying to go for 3rd. So Lars Lambers, oh, that's a position dropped. That might be Babacek that's just gone through. So Friend, Lambers, Verheyen, and it is not Babacek. Babacek's around about 8th position, so I think that is Lyubimov, which it is the case. So Lyubimov in 4th position. Alexander van Meeuwen now 5th. Oh, bit sideways there out of turn 8 by Thomas Verheyen. That's opened both barn doors wide. So it's a bit of a scuffle coming out of turn 9. It's 3 wide. Van Meeuwen was on the outside. Clark was in the middle. As that is the 125 of Luca Holmes-Black. Oh, that is getting a bit too close for comfort. Babicek caught up in it all as an unwilling participant. So it's all for themselves. It's a winner-take-all event, and that means the action is going to be even more intense than what it has been before the lunch break. And still, they're squabbling over the last swing in the playground. Oh, no! That is Luca Holmes-Black off with Kai Clark and Alexander Van Meeuwen. It was 3 wide coming out of turn 2. One was going to be exiting stage right, and it was the 125. Bran van der Weyken and Michael Zayak look to be out of the race, I'm afraid. Real shame for van der Weyken. And that just goes to show that you can always count on unpredictability. You never know what's going to happen next. But Alexander Van Meeuwen hasn't given up yet. He's right behind the 126 of Alex Goodson from Hunter Motorsport. They've got Jakub Kubera in front of them. And Kubera looks up the inside. That is on the 106 of Kai Clark. So that is a change of position. Babicek, though, is on a tear. He's up the inside of Verheyen going into turn 12. Has Denny Babicek made the move? Yes, he has. He's got through on the inside of turn 12. So Friend leads by nearly 2 seconds ahead of Lambers, Lubimov. Babicek now 4th, gets a tag from behind courtesy of Verheyen. Of course, braking in these conditions is a little bit more technical and a little bit more demanding. You've got to really measure the amount of throttle that you're putting down through a corner, and also how hard you're braking, because sometimes I've seen it before where drivers have braked hard in wet conditions and done a 180, and then the back axle has seized at that moment. Felipe Reyes looking up the inside of Thomas Verheyen through turn 7. The 107 from the Netherlands, running with the Komodo by RR Racing crew, run by Raymond Rietveld. Now makes a position on the 182. So that is going to be a change for 5th position. And Babicek has put himself in the prime position, possibly for winning a ticket. Now, I know for a fact that Albert Friend, Lars Lambers, and Nikita Lubimov have all secured tickets. So now it's the battle for what happens next. Babicek, I know, hasn't got a ticket. Felipe Reyes, I'm 50-50 on that one, but I think he might not have got one either yet. So it is going to be crucial to see who becomes the champion and who takes home the ticket to the grand finals and finds himself heading over to Bahrain in about a month's time. So we have just under 5.5 minutes still to go, plus an additional lap, and it really is going to be interesting to see what's going to happen over the next 5.25 minutes. In the meantime, Alexander Van Meeuwen has just been passed by Jakub Kubera, who has been a bit of a surprise this weekend in the 199, running on the Sodi kart chassis. Just overtook the GKS Lemons Power driver through turn number 8. And now closes on Thomas Verheyen. Now this is coming out of turn 11. Meanwhile, Albert Friend looks to make history in the Grand Festival's Roll of Honour. So now, where does the unpredictability factor come into play? That's the big €64,000 question that needs to be answered. Albert Friend is comfortably leading by 2 seconds ahead of Lars Lambers, who's being closed in on by this year's Nordic champion, and also Estonian champion Nikita Lubimov in the 1:19. Denny Babacek has got himself exactly where he needs to be, in fourth. So we've already had 2 DNFs on the opening lap. Bran van der Weyken and Michael Zayak from Belgium and Poland respectively, out after the opening lap. So Albi Lapper moves past Hasnain Khan for 19th position. Boris Verhaag up to 17th. Alexander Van Meeuwen now through on Kai Clark for what is 9th place. There you see, quite a lot of dramas have been happening over the course of the duration of this race. Friend leads by 1.3 seconds. And Lars Lambers was 7/10 quicker. Alexander Van Meeuwen now up to 7th. Jakub Kubera up to 8th. Thomas Verheyen has dropped to 9th. With Kai Clark completing the top 10 positions. The timer counts down with a sense of inevitability that someone will win this race. The drivers have been challenged all the way through the weekend, and there is still this challenge to conquer. 2.25 minutes on the timer, plus an additional lap remains in the Rotax Max Challenge Grand Festival Mini-Max Final, as there is the 1:32. Daniel Minto trying to get through on Luca Holmes-Balak for 14th. In front of them, they've got Portugal's João Maria Pereira. And Holmes-Balak gets a really good run coming out of turn number 10, but tries to find his way forward. There's the 1:40 of Albi Lapper. That's up the inside of Natan Rybczynski in the 1:89. So Albi Lapper up to 16th. Pereira 12th. Kai Clark 9th. 90 seconds plus an additional lap still to go. And this will conclude this year's running of the Rotax Max Challenge Grand Festival, held here for the first time at Karting Genk. Denny Babacek is now having to defend. Time is fast running out for Felipe Reyes. And the last time around, Babacek was 4/10 ahead of the 1:07 from the Netherlands. That looked to be a little bit closer between the pair as our leader, Albert Friend, comes through now, turn 11. With the Waft assisting him moving forward. Lambers, Lubimov, they're your top three. Babacek in fourth, Felipe Reyes in fifth. As we go on to the penultimate lap of the final in Minimax. Albert Friend's lead now is 1.979 seconds. He also holds the fastest lap of the race, 1 minute 17.485. And as Albert Friend breaks into turn number 7, the timer is up. So we do have a couple of penalties that have been issued. The 1:06 has had, and that is Kai Clark, 5-second time penalty for push to pass. And the 1:80, oh dearie me, that is going to be Hasnain Khan, 5-second penalty for all four wheels outside of the tram lines on the start. So broke formation completely before the lights went out. Albert Friend makes his way out of turn number 12 for the penultimate time. One more lap remains. And Albert Friend hurtles his way into turns 1 and 2 for the 9th and final time. Further dramas for Hasnain Khan, causing a collision, an additional 5-second time penalty. Penalties are coming thick and fast. 1:26 gets a time penalty as well. That is 5 seconds. And that is Alex Goodson, who's running 12th, but Albert Friend makes his way down the Europolan for what is going to be the 9th and final time. Through the chicane, it's been pretty much a nigh-on dominant weekend for the young man from the United Kingdom. 3 more corners remain after this, and a piece of Grand Festival history will have been written, because in the folklore of the Rotax Max Challenge, Grand Festival has not one driver done what Albert Friend is now about to achieve, because for the 2nd year in a row, he was Micromax Grand Festival winner last year in the Netherlands. Here at Karting Genk, Albert Friend makes history, becoming the first driver to win as a Grand Festival Micromax champion, and now add to that in 2023, the Grand Festival Minimax champion. Lars Lambers takes 2nd, Nikita Lubimov takes 3rd. Now Jensen Chalk has booked his place to Bahrain. Folks, a newsflash. The top 3 have already secured their places to Bahrain. So provisionally, your Grand Festival Minimax ticket winner is Denny Babacek, who rounds out the top 4, was able to keep Felipe Perez at bay by 4/10 after 9 laps of racing. Felipe Perez was 5th ahead of Vince van der Hallen, Alexander Van Meeuwen, Jakob Kubera, Kai Clark, Thomas Verheyen, and that is how you make history. You become the first micro and mini-max champion of the Grand Festival in 2 successive years. And I know for a fact that Dad George is going to be absolutely smiling like the Cheshire Cat from Alice in Wonderland. And Paul Clarkson, our chief scrutineer, shakes Albie Friend's hand and congratulates him on a job well done. Lars Lambers, Nikita Lubimov, Denny Babacek, Felipe Perez, Vince van der Hallen, and everybody else. There are your results on the screen, folks, for those watching at home. And that is the conclusion of the 2023 Rotax Max Challenge Grand Festival, right here at the home of champions, Karting Genk.